Is it anybody out there? Read some words from my subconscious. Yeah. Mortalized. I'm so bionic in my subconscious. I be spitting, I never run out of options. Wisdom and logic, predicted it like a Nostradamus. I meditate in silence, so much inventory in here. Anything you need, you can find it. Flashbacks of hard times, horror movies in my mind. Roll up the herb cause it helps me unwind. Look around here, ain't no telling what you might find. Old crimes that can't even escape my mind. Traveled the world, took so many notes, wrote many quotes. All I seem to have is time, but tell me where it goes. Euphoria, paranoia from way before. Operate this computer with ancestors' codes. These be some words from my subconscious. Is it anybody out there? What words from my subconscious? Is it anybody out there?
The love of brotherhood is our topic for today. Tap in. We're claiming our power as the I am, wholeness.
For me, when I think of brotherhood,
the love of brotherhood is our topic for today. Tap in. We're claiming our power as the I am, wholeness.
For me, when I think of brotherhood, is, having those healthy masculine spaces and containers for our brothers to be able to go through their expressions, release their traumas, and be able to move out of that suppression of their self that they might have picked up on through their generational patterns. Holding integrity in our relationship. We're out here flirting with every woman that we come across. We're out here looking at every woman. We're scrolling through every single reel that we find with women. And
hang out with people who listen to people, podcasts, music, whatever, to people who aren't in a 9 to 5 job. Hang out with them, spend time with them through listening, through talking, networking, whatever. Start hanging out with people who are building something.
what is happening? My screen is black. Manifesting is the topic for today.
We're claiming our power as the I am, wholeness.
Yes, sir. You need to turn on your microphone, brother. There we go.
I don't know what's going on. All my stuff's frozen. Mercury retrograde. Oh my gosh, no fucking surprise, man. So funny.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll flow. I'm frozen over here. Yana, man, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Just woke up, felt like shit. I think I went through every single emotion today, to be honest with you. You know, it's nothing new for me though. But bah, the morning was shit. I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry. I felt like I could pull out trees. I just didn't. It was very weird. And then I started working, and just like things started to happen, and I, very for me and very beautiful. Turned out to be very beautifully. So I think we're in a new energy, and we all feel a shift in frequencies, and we can adapt to new ways of thinking. So when we start analyzing our pattern, thought pattern, what we do, as well as what we say, then yeah, we start flowing differently. Like we have like emotions, and for me, I experience all of them every day, it feels like. So learning to neutralize yourself in the way you think about things is very important, and I just keep learning about myself, you know, and days like these just show me that everything is possible. Yeah. How about you, brother?
Yeah, that's just really good honesty and just, straight up rawness. As human beings, we go through the contrast of life every day. And, as we go through experiences, some of those experiences can weigh on us. Some of those experiences can be mentally tiring. They can be emotionally exhausting, and they can be physically draining. And, if we're just going through life,
Okay, guys. Marcus left us. So we keep talking. And I just put up my phone or go on Instagram to check if I can send him a message. Very interesting. Hmm. I
all
think
right, there we
there you
go. Now everything's all good. Okay. But yeah, as I was saying though, if we're just going into spaces, and especially if we're like, teachers, guides, practitioners, people of example for others, what good is it really to just put a mask on continuously and just be like, oh, I'm good. Oh, I'm fine. Oh, I'll be okay. And that's it. Like that just, it doesn't allow yourself the justice of connection, support, vulnerability, being able to release and also receive healing, receive love, maybe even receive some laughter as well from those around you. And, it also is very empowering as well to be real, to be raw and honest. It allows us to feel a deeper sense of connection. And it also shows us too that, dang, okay, even though he's a life coach, even though he is a spiritual teacher of sorts and all these different things, he's had a shitty day as well. And we can all have shitty days, and we can all go through negative emotions. So thank you, brother man, for just being raw and real and sharing with us today and being here with the type of day that you've had.
You know, we can choose how we feel about things. You know, emotions and feelings are two different things. So emotions come and go, but how we feel about it is something different. So, you know, we can use everything that we feel and, you know, become alchemists in our own way, and we can see it in day-to-day life. So, you know, healing for me is all about relation. You know, you magnetize certain things in your life accordingly to what your frequency is on. So you will never get anything that's not in resonance with you. So you gotta be present with what you experience and see that in your heart space, it's something magnetizing you towards your manifestation, towards your desired reality outcome. And you see how things turn out to be very magical and spontaneous. For me, planning never works out. The things, when they flow and when I allow myself to be in joy and to be in this 3D physical reality, experiencing it physically, you know, like we gotta be present with what we do, put our energy in this three-dimensional reality, you know. So how we touch other people, you know, your hands. Do you create? Do you destroy? You know, sometimes things must go in order for us to create something new. We got the choice, you know, and in this moment you have the choice to be natural, you know, just natural, and let it flow, as Marcus said. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And, you know, I feel like that's a great way to kind of segue and break into our topic today, which is manifesting. And, you know, manifesting is, of course, like a very multi-layered thing and process when it comes to breaking it down into finer details and mechanics and just multi-dimensional operations. And one thing that we might as well just go ahead and kick off with is kind of just dispelling any separation, any feeling of manifestation being something outside of you, or being something that you have to achieve or become, or that, you know, it's something that is not already instilled as a natural organic process that is happening with your human being as an instrument 24/7, conscious or unconscious. And you brought this up earlier before we started. And, you know, it's so key, especially when we're really being in attunement with our mentalism of how it is that we're deciding to word things and how it is that we're deciding to perceive them. So, you know, if we're perceiving that manifesting is some crazy ability that we may not be able to obtain very easily, or that it takes books and $500 courses to learn how to manifest, then there's that route. But then there's also the route where, as holistic alchemists, mystics of life, co-creators, we take in the embodiment that we are the manifest. And through us being the manifest and being connected to the all that is, then the manifest is happening around us, it's happening through us. Our body is the manifestation. Everything that is in existence is the manifestation. So therefore, there's never a moment where honestly there's not manifesting happening. So for me at least, and I know our brother over here, it's really more so of like, what are you going to do with the manifesting abilities that is naturally happening always? So I'll hand it back over to you, brother man, because you brought up this specific part of the topic, and I'd love to hear what you have to say about it.
For me, they are all one. You know, like we can talk about all concepts, and I kind of see a connection between everything. So when we just look at ourselves and see what we want to do, you know, and it takes courage to do that. But you are worthy and you have the right, like anyone else or everyone else, to live a great and healthy, joyous life and experience. Yourself in a way that your heart just shines out of your eyes, like sometimes you gotta say no to things and yes to yourself. A no is also a yes. So you gotta learn to say no, because every time you say no, you give energy to yourself and to what you want to create. So if it's health, you want to manifest health in your life, then you gotta look at your nutrition, you know, and maybe the times that you eat. You gotta find the structure that supports your goal of manifestation. So, thinking practically here, you gotta do what supports that thing. You can't manifest something outside yourself what you are not. So, you have to be it to get it. So, therefore, before you see everything outside, it has to be you. It has to be so much part of you, in your existence, your desire, that you attract it. And yeah, life brings you this. I believe it because I can see it in every day. I could see it today. Ooh, like many times, many times. When it gets more and more and more and more, and you really see that you have actually something to say in all of this. You're not powerless. You're not powerless at all. You're very powerful. And you're very powerful. So you do it for yourself, what you do. Love what you do. and do what you love, and learn to know why you do what you do. If you're in a 9 to 5, you gotta know why you're there. You gotta know for what you're doing it for. You know, what's in your heart, or what are you learning in this? You always gotta see on what's in it for you. Like, what I'm learning here. Like, what's it good for? Where do I want to go next with what I'm learning right now? Like, you really gotta be always in the now and ask you those questions, and to keep reflecting on your life. So I think I said a lot right now. Did this answer your question, Marcus?
Yes, indeed. Beautifully. Thank you. Yeah, so I've been led into kind of opening us up into the relation of our energy field, and as well as not just the energy field, but also the chakras and the relation that they have with manifestation. So if we look here at this image, zoom in a little bit for you guys. So if we look on this image, this is a wonderful diagram that is able to show us. Let me make this just a little bit larger for you. There you go. Okay, so I'm gonna break this down a little bit for you guys in the scope of, manifestation, being a heaven on earth pillar, and also kind of like what can happen if we have blockages in our centers, and why it's maybe something to consider to have active and cleansed centers in your energy body. But there's, of course, quite a bit going on here until you start to break it down and come to an understanding of what's going on. But I'm going to start with pointing out how we have, these multiple different layers of energy fields around us. And this is talking about the different bodies of being human. And all these bodies together make up the human being. So we have our physical body, we have our astral, we have the light body, mental, emotional, and some others as well. And with that, it's kind of like a Russian doll where the layers kind of stack and fold onto each other. Now, of course, this is not going to be a physical thing because it's beyond the dimension of physicality or the third dimension, which is also why through the human eyes, we're not able to really have a clear and easy sense of what this stuff is, because it's pretty much mystical or spiritual or etheric to the 3D physical. And with that being said, this is basically a diagram of our instrument, the human vessel. And as you can see, there's this line that goes directly down the center, directly down the middle of the human being. This line basically acts as like a axis cord that helps bring the balance, maintain the balance of the human being. So when this cord is able to flow through the center of our being all the way down the column, and it's able to do it fluidly and easily, then we're going to have a lighter being. We're going to have more conscious light flowing through this physical avatar. With that being said, part of what manifestation is that being in a third dimensional body or a third dimensional instrument vehicle, it is the conduit that projects. It is the conduit that ripples. Heavenly energies, higher dimensional energies, or if you want to call them dreams, you can call them dreams, into material form. So this is one of the gifts that we have with a third dimensional body here on this planet, is we're able to be alchemists with free will. And being alchemists with free will, our vehicle as the instrument is able to be utilized by our own self as the higher soul to be able to do transmissions, transmutation, creating, destroying, although you can't truly ever create or destroy. But in the sense of our experiences, it's what we do. And through this cord comes the higher light energy, the downloads, the light codes. And through the chakras in the center, as you can see, we have the 7 chakras. Those are kind of like gateways or passages for that cord to be able to stream through your human being. And with that being said, if we have blockages taking place in our chakras, in our energy centers, and our chakras are also tied to our physical health, emotional health, and mental health as well, each one with different octaves that it governs, then it is going to be likely that we will have either a slower process of manifesting, we'll have distorted manifestations of our true intention, or we can have blockages so deeply that our manifestations are coming out very, very, I don't want to use the word broken, but they're coming out in a way to where they don't last. They don't have impact. They just small little spark and then it dissolves away. So the key is, if we have healthy energy centers, our chakras are flowing, and we have a nice clear connection through the center of ourself, this connection then turns into your toroidal field. And that toroidal field starts to generate around and through your human being. So when you look at this image, think of it as 3-dimensional instead of 2-dimensional. Think of it as motion right now, and that all of this that you're seeing is in motion constantly, vibrating, absorbing energy, rejecting energy. So when we have the clear, healthy centers, then we are able to have easier grounding. And as you can see with the root chakra at the bottom, the red one, they draw a cord that goes down from the root and it turns into roots like a tree, basically. This is showing grounding through your root chakra. Why would a grounding be important with manifestation? Well, grounding is going to be our foundation, energetically and physically. And if we don't have any foundation, we don't have stability that's anchoring us into this plane, this 3-dimensional earth plane, then it'll be difficult for us to be able to take ethereal energy and ground it into our human vessel, into this earth plane. Along with that, it could also put you in positions where you're working with a lot of higher energies, but due to being ungrounded, it can cause you to be top heavy, so to say, where we could be a little bit psychosis-like. We could be severely detached from our human reality. So this grounding, if we have grounding, then we are able to be more stable energetically. And that stability allows our manifestations, our downloads, the heavenly realms, as being an instrument of heaven on earth. It allows that heavenly energy to channel through us and ground and integrate into our physical being a little bit more smoother, a little bit more easier, and a little bit more efficiently, as we then ripple it out through us into this plane of existence, manifestation. So this is constantly happening, always. This is not really a moment where this isn't happening. And this is why the key is, if we are someone that is choosing, and it's a choice, to walk the path of Christhood, of Buddhahood, of self-realization, alchemy, being a self-master, then these are the tools and instruments right here and the guiding points that can help you be able to understand how your mechanism manifests and how these different type of aspects have some type of influence, or it has some type of operation in the blueprint of manifestation. So then also the heart chakra. Heart chakra is in the middle. It's number 4, whether you go up or down. With it being in the middle, it is the balancing center for your lower 3, which are your physical earth chakras, and then your upper 3, which are more of your cosmic, higher dimensional chakras. Why would it be important to have a balanced and healthy heart center for manifesting? Well, because not only is it the center of your electromagnetism, and scientists for a long time have also discovered and have shown us with visual proof now that our heart radiates electromagnetic field. Not just the heart, but our organs and our chakras and so many more things. And also with the heart chakra, it is where we feel that pureness of oneness and unconditional love. So there's no ego there when we are in a pure heart center of manifesting. We are manifesting from the place and through the place of unconditional love. And then lastly, the crown chakra. The crown chakra at the top, the violet one. Why would this one have an importance with manifesting? So the crown chakra is almost like the lid to the container. If our crown is nice and open, then we are able to receive that higher light cord of energy. And through that higher light cord, it gives us our connection and sense of awareness of being connected to the heavens, being connected to source, the higher self. And then if we have that blocked up, we could be in experiences like confusion, feeling lost without a purpose, feeling like we don't have a connection to a higher source, and that we are not capable beings. So our instrument, it's a little sophisticated, but it's also simple at the same time when you get to understand it. And the last thing I'm going to touch on is the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is key with manifesting because the sacral is our first energy center where we start to feel, sense, and ignite the fire of passion, creativity, sensuality, which is our connection to the outer world, connection to energy, and being able to be a conscious being that can sense with your senses emotion and energy and information coming into your being. And with that, this is the first center that gets ignited from the root chakra. From the root chakra, which is where our kundalini or our vital life force is stored or coiled at the base, as they say. And then when we start to do practices and other activities and experiences that activate that root, we then start to raise the serpent, the kundalini, the life force energy. The first chakra it hits, the sacral. This is where we start to feel emotion, passion, creativity, vitality. And through that sacral, when we are conscious of it, we can cultivate and harness that vitality from our sacral up our other centers, and then manifest it through the throat chakra, and then raise it up to the third eye as well, where we can then perceive and project our assimilated reality in a balanced and whole sense, and then up through the crown. And then out of the crown, it continues to toroidal field. So the sacral is one of those ones with manifesting where having healthy boundaries, respecting your sexuality, not always continuously, masturbating, especially if you're a male, releasing your semen all the time, constantly attaching cords to relationship after relationship. These are all ways that we can drain that sacral energy. And then if you notice, just reflecting in your own life, in the times where maybe you had too many sexual partners or you were just always giving and giving and giving, what happens? You get burnt out. You don't feel creative. You don't want to make anything. You don't have the energy to even work. So just consider that when it comes to the sacral. So I'll go ahead and kind of leave it there. I'm not going to go too much further because that would just turn into like a 2-hour workshop. So I'll go ahead and pass it over to you, brother.
Thank you. We work with our chakras and get more in tune with them. How it works for me when I'm doing healing, I feel a sensation on my crown. So I receive the information and the downloads through my crown, and then my physical, and from there on there is going a signal towards my physical being, and I then act accordingly to the information that I then can apply to the person that receives healing and is healing themselves. So I've just seen this picture, like I was feeling this sensation earlier. I had not much thought about it. I thought about it, yeah, it's the crown chakra. But it's actually very profound when I talk about it and feel into it, because there's something that we really can ponder about, which is, having an open crown chakra allows us to receive information that is, healing information that you then can apply onto someone else to cause your loved one to heal from disease, as an example, or to strengthen their overall well-being, their energy level. You can learn to recharge or to charge other people through, Reiki as an example, chi. You can let chi flow through you, and because you learn to hold space for yourself while you do this, you can do this for other people too. It's very simple and everyone can do this. Like I believe everything that I can do, you can do if you want to. We are all very special and have gifts that we can tap into if we want to. So no matter what it is, if you want to manifest, if you want to manifest health, if you want to manifest healing, you gotta want it. And with your energy centers, your chakras, you can attract them. So for me, how I'm observing it in my life at this time is, I work as a massage therapist and do also use Reiki. And, it's magnetism. It's pure information that is streamed that allows the healing to occur and to let me know how this person has to be treated. It's very magical in its sense, but it's supernatural. So, and where I feel it is in my crown. So, when I give the massage and I have a point inside the physical body that is very, I don't, that just feels good to give a massage first, but I feel a sensation in my crown second, and I feel the person that I have this trigger, it's just totally relaxing. And you have like so many points in your physical body that if you touch them right, like, you just immerse yourself in yourself and the universe, So that's healing, you know. Learn to love your physical body. Find a person like me who can give you a massage that you never had before. Um, and open up your energy. You really, really gotta open up your energy because what's available to you at any times is wilder at your wildest dreams. So let's all tap into that together and create something very beautiful. Yes, sir.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. So this kind of brings me into a little bit of Dragon's Blood Sage for everybody. Dragon's Blood is good for good fortune, abundance, as well as uplifting dragon energy as well. For everybody out there that loves sage and different incense. Yeah, welcome in everybody on the IG. I know we had a question as well that I was going to go ahead and bring up here. From Exceed Your Potential, and welcome in. I think you're new to the space. Definitely follow us and tap in as you can, as we'll have plenty more stuff to come. So yeah, I said love this energy and insights that y'all are sharing. And then welcome Bashish. Good to see you, brother. But the question is, how can one tell if a decision is being made from the heart versus the brain? And how does one get into better brain-heart coherence? Ooh, awesome question. I almost wish you had put that on the YouTube side to put it on the screen. But so for me, we're all capable of being intuitive. We're all intuitive beings in a way. So for me, one easy way that I can tell if I'm being in my heart or I'm being in my mind is feeling where it's coming from. Like, where's the energy that you're focused on processing? As in, like, do you feel it in your head? Do you feel it in your brain? Is it constant thought process, constant questioning? Is it, is this right? Or is it right? Or is this what's best for me? Or is it? Like that's gonna be coming from your head, your mind, likely. Now, for me, when I'm coming from the heart, it's a feeling that comes deep from within the core of my body, in the center of me. And through that deep core feeling from within, it kind of spreads throughout my whole body, and I'll feel that. And that's how I'll know if I'm moving through my heart, most of the time at least, is from that feeling rather than the thinking. And for me, good ways to bring balance and connection to those, well, journaling is really good. If we are journaling out anything that could be causing us to be a little bit too much into our mind, as in attachments, memories, the future, the past, releasing those things, maybe even through some yoga, breath work, Tai Chi, and other practices, can help then alleviate the energetic focus of being in the mind so we could naturally drop into the heart and body. And then with the heart, finding ways to have fun, finding ways to play, doing more of the things that you really love and that you care the most about, and connecting with those that you love and you care the most about. And through balancing, both focuses of the mind and the heart, you can naturally begin to clear them up. And what I truly believe is that that roadway will naturally start to reconnect, because it's already a connection. It's like that connection is just a little blocked up. It's got some kinks in it. So we move those blockages, we move those kinks. The connection is already there. It's just becoming more fluid, more optimal, and more active for us. So I'll leave it there with that, and then I'll go ahead and hand it over to our brother so he can share a little bit of wisdom as well.
Imagine there is like a stream of light coming from above to below, and it's usually very wide, and even can go through the most of your being and emanate through you, and this is your main energy channel when activated. And sometimes it's more activated than others, or it's like, you kind of calibrate in it and you move in it, in this energy, and kind of try to find your center, but you're always in it. It's not that you're never in it. So intuitive, to be inside of you and really feel, like you transcend.
Yana, they're saying you're pretty quiet over there on the mic. One moment, everybody.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna get him louder for you guys, so you can hear that soft, elegant voice.
Hello. Better.
All right, give it a try.
Are we back?
Sounds better to me. How are we in the IG chat?
Should
Let
I
us know.
take this one?
Can
you
it's
hear
a
me?
little better, yeah.
A little
Yeah,
better.
sounds good.
Let me get my headphones.
Okay. We'll take a brief intermission.
Ja, scheiße. I couldn't find anyway.
You sound better now, though.
We give it a go. Yeah, it's the mic from my MacBook now. So, where were we?
I'm not sure where you left off. Where did you leave off? You were in the middle of talking.
You know, the key point is there's something inside of you that when present allows you to know exactly what is present with you, you know, why you do what you do, why you feel the way you feel, you know, where you want to go, you know, you understand even where you came from. And you know, the stream of energy when you're in your center, you know, your Shushumna, your main energy channel in the middle of your body, you know, imagine as a blue ray of light, you know, and it's always there. You kind of try to find the balance in it, you know, you kind of calibrate. But when you hold yourself like that stiff, you know, when you pull up your shoulders and you're physically not moving right, so you're not having a great posture, then your energy is not moving correctly, because once upon a time you started walking like this because of some potential trauma, or like a situation. And trauma and dream, you know, like a trauma for me is nothing bad, you know, it's almost the same as if it's a dream, you know, that brings you forward in kind of way, because the German word for trauma is Traum. It's just like the A missing, you know, it's like a dream. That means dream in German. So to have experienced something bad, or like something, you know, we would maybe in society consider as bad, there's something in it, you know, it's a feeling, it's not a thought, you know, it's not really a thought that we're talking about here. It's a very subtle energy that we all can access, you know, that is us, that is, you know, made from us as well. And when we allow ourselves to tap into that energy and we resonate in resonance with who and what we are, we get exactly what we need in order for us to fulfill our mission. So you gotta calibrate, you know, you gotta adjust when you're not in balance, you gotta adjust when you're not in center, or when you can't balance out the movement that you do into this direction with the other. You know, like you always kind of adjust, like you gotta find your center, you know, and do things that allow you to physically be in your center if you have the possibility. You know, if you're disabled, you know, like it's something different, you know. But it's also calibration, you know, it's always calibration. It's always finding the right antidote, I think is the right word. You know, we always gotta find the other pole. We gotta always see what we need in order for us to balance it out. Yeah. And yeah, I'll leave it with this for now.
Thank you for that. Really appreciate that. Hello to the Aya, I believe. Welcome. And yeah, so I want to bring up the aspect of, you know, our subconscious and what, you know, what's going on in our subconscious container, and how that can also contribute to the manifestations that we pattern into our life. And you know, with the subconscious, you know, you can think of the subconscious as basically like our container, or kind of like a movie reel that holds the mental programmings, that holds the conditions that we pick up on mentally throughout our life. And this could be from TV, music, family, work, school, any type of surrounding that has energetic information, which everything has information behind it. So our subconscious picks up on that through our conscious mind. And the subconscious is very fragile, it's very potent. It's also non-biased. So it just absorbs. Whatever we put into it, it absorbs. Now, if you have other different things in place, spiritually and mentally, to where you can reject things and you can, you know, discern in certain ways, then that's you and it's your authentic path. But on a basic level of a human being, you know, we automatically, on like autopilot, basically absorb information. And then they also say that the human being is running on a pretty large percent of subconscious and autopilot energy. So, you know, part of manifestation is, what do you have in your container of the subconscious mind that is continuously replaying throughout your being? Whether it's mental cognitive distortions that you're having. And what are cognitive distortions? Psychology term. It is basically when memories from the past distort and continue to replay and loop into our present moment. So what can happen is we can cognitively be experiencing something in front of us. And that thing that we can be experiencing in front of us could have a completely different intention than the way that we're perceiving it, due to the distortion of the trauma or the memory in the past that we had, that could be replaying from our subconscious into our conscious mind. And then it goes into our perception and it basically overlaps that present experience that you're having. This happens quite a bit, especially in relationships. This is one of my easiest examples to use, is relationships. So say we have relationships that are traumatic, abusive, whatever else it may be, abandonment. We never address this. We never heal this aspect of ourselves, and we continue to have these memories attached to us continuously, along with the energetic and emotional density that we may have accumulated. And without addressing it, those cognitive distortions can start happening, where we could be present with a new partner. That new partner could be very intentional, very clear, very loving, but they have authentic things about them that they do that are not supposed to be harmful. It's nothing against you. It's just how they operate authentically to be their best self. And due to them being in that element and just naturally being in their light and in their flow, it can trigger these shadow subconscious memories and traumas that could be stored in us. And then what can happen is then those memories come to the surface from a triggered experience in the present. And then instead of seeing that person for who they are in that moment, seeing their intention clearly and what it is that they're presenting vibrationally, it can get distorted because of the memories and the traumas that we haven't addressed in our subconscious. And, this is something that I've experienced, and I'm sure almost any of us have experienced of some type of nature, whether it's the giving or receiving end of it. And, it's something that really I hold deeply in my heart is, these cognitive distortions, because it can be very saddening, It can be saddening when you love somebody and you have a partner or a family member and you're really there with pure intentions. You're doing everything to be loyal, dedicated, loving, caring. But due to those traumas and shadows that haven't been addressed, it could really disrupt that peace, that connection, that intimacy and unconditional love. So, I bring this up, and I'm going to kind of close out with it with, relating this to manifesting. If these things are continuing and we want to be able to really be fully present in ourselves and present with what it is that we want to manifest, we got to think about what patterns are continuing to repeat in the background. And are these patterns going to support our intentions or manifestations? Or are they going to cause more resistance? Are they going to be the things that basically create the sludge and the hardship around the manifesting? And if they are, there's many tools, many practices, many self-empowerment ways that you can start addressing, bringing clearing and healing, and also receive love, healing, upliftment, and new programming that you program your own self into yourself through affirmations, repetition of different routines, as well as being around healthy surroundings that support it. So with that, I will hand it back over.
Yes, intentions and family. Big topic for mine too. Never let yourself be hurt by someone outside of yourself. It's what they say and what they mean. It's nothing that you need to worry about, because you just focus on what's important for you. And hurt people. If you have pain inside of you that you haven't addressed, you will see yourself acting in a way that is not in alignment with who you truly are. Because if you would, you wouldn't have you wouldn't have pain, you wouldn't have suffering. You would transcend that anytime that you are yourself, and know what you gotta do. And it's deep. It's nothing for you if you want to you really gotta do the healing. You really gotta and it's something very simple and easy. And as Crystal said, you become lighter, it becomes lighter. it's really a fun road. You know, it's just like you take life as it comes and do your job. You're kind. You know, you live with nature. You look that you are relating with nature. You look that you, yeah, you know, have intentional relationships with a human, a cat, you know, like look at the way you touch a child or a newborn. The way you touch a newborn baby, you know, with that care. This is the way you should touch anyone you meet in this world. With that care and with that intention to, whoa, you know, I mean, we are very, very powerful beings. We gotta use our energy wisely. You know, if we care for each other, if we protect each other, you know. Yeah, look at that. That's cute. Yeah, man.
Like, look at that baby. Look at that. That's the goal right there, you know? That state.
That state is the goal of, yeah, man.
Wow. Brings so much joy just looking at it.
Mhm. Mm,
Wow.
yeah.
Well said. Thank you, brother. Mm-hmm. Man. So we've talked about how, you know, our human vehicle is an instrument of the manifesting into this plane for us. Talked about the chakras a little bit as well and their relation to manifestation. Talked about subconscious and our mentalism. Is there anything else that comes to mind for you when it comes to manifestation?
Yeah. I want to make aware that manifestation happens anytime and you can practice having conversations with people and having the intent to respect and honor their being. You know, have an intention to be kind, have like, you know, in the conversations that you have with people. Make it very practical because when you approach someone with good intent, they reflect back to you good intent. Oh, it's very magical. It's very, very magical. You know, I could always see myself. I can talk with anyone, you know. I can talk with someone who says he wants to kill someone and he means it that like that, you know. I can see it in his eyes. I can talk with someone like that, you know. Doesn't mean I agree, but you know, I can hold space for him and in his being. So yeah, you know, just we gotta take responsibility of the field that we hold, of the energy that we hold, you know, anytime, especially when we meet other people, you know. especially when we meet other people. We gotta be extremely aware, extremely aware of what we do, what the energy field in us or like around us, our energy field is. You know, Crystal showed you graphics. You know, you can actually feel those things and you can see in those dimensions of those fields, you know, of the bodies. And you're not just physical, like the bigger your heart. Yes, I hope you're well too. Awesome. Yeah, we gotta be in our heart space, and from there on, everything expands, you know. Let your light shine outside, you know, to the outside. Don't expect something to shine to you, you know, shine to the outside and let it all just naturally be drawn to you. Um, what you want. And we are all on our journeys, like it's a day-to-day job, right? So it's nothing that stops. It's the way you hold yourself, it's the way you think about yourself, it's the, you know, it's just what drives and motivates you. And you gotta be aware of that and take responsibility for that. For that, what you are, what you do, you know, and the decisions that you make from now on. What happened in the past, give a fuck, you know, like move forward. Like happened, learn from it. Don't, you know, don't look back and regret, look back and learn and move forward. Gain energy, you know, gain strength from what was behind, like so you move forward with that energy in the back. Like it's a very great metaphor, you know, just visualize it. So um yeah, you know, chakra healing. Also, you know, like listen to the night right frequencies. I mean, if you go in it, you know, if you go in it, you can simply just tune into the chakras, you know. Alone watching at this picture opens up things in you. If you allow yourself to, you know, sit straight or lay straight and have your spine straight, and you visualize exactly this, you know, those energy points inside of you, you can, you know, this already does something with you. So this is you, you know, like if you look at those colors, there is a resonance of a specific color and a specific thing, you know, in your life. Like you resonate with the color and the feeling that comes with it, you know, maybe a thought, you know, and you gotta be aware of all of that, but it's actually just letting go of all thoughts. And tune in, you know, feel your crown. Feel your crown chakra. Feel your heart. Feel your being. Allow yourself to be fully activated in this moment, right now. Fully activated chakra system.
Mm. Oh, I don't hear you.
No.
There we go.
Yeah.
You're good now.
Could you hear anything of what I was saying? Because that was
Yeah, it was wonderful. Thank you for that little
awesome.
subtle guidance.
You know, the pineal. If we all just tune into the pineal gland and we allow ourselves to see, you know, and then feel the heart, feel the ground below, and just allow ourselves to be multi-dimensional beings that experience as they wish. Yeah. Create consciously and take responsibility for your intentions. Very important. Very important.
If everybody would like to get comfortable and receive some light language activations, feel free to get cozy, open yourself up, and just be receptive. And of course, you don't have to receive. You can consciously choose not to. You can leave the space. You can do whatever it is that you would like. So focus on the breath and circulate the breath through the being. And as you breathe, relax the shoulders, relax the toes and the feet, relax the hands, relax the jaw from clenching your teeth. And we're also going to remember too that holding tension can cause strain, it can cause dis-ease, it can block up our electromagnetic currents. It can make it harder for this prana, for this pull of light to travel through us swiftly and fluidly, the more tension that we are holding. So as we soften ourselves and soften our body and our vessel, soften our mind and our emotions through our breath, then we are opening up those passageways. We are opening up and releasing stored density so that we may be able to have more space within our container to draw in more higher downloads, more vital energy to be worked up from our root chakra and sacral, because there's more space for that energy to flow and to be able to exist within our being. So this is why we have spiritual maintenance and we stay up on clearing our field and doing the work. So as we continue to focus on the breath and be in this relaxed state of the body, as I'm going to share some light language. Udayanaya sutusha inyasasu iyaya shanaya ukuata iyamaya usuata iyana suchuata ipiyano suku ushanyanatu iyamata ta iyamana sutuka iyamayana ku ushianata isianatuchu katayana utoda Yama isikianato ishinikiana utoata yasana shukuta isiamanakuta yanatu ushumata yanata yasakayanaku yanata ishinako. Continue to stay with the breath as we recalibrate and receive any messages that we need. And some gentle reminders from our guides of Remember the maintenance on your being, your instrument of manifestation. Remember to invite gentleness, love, and softening into your life through your work and play. May we also remember the patience, the grounding of allowing processes to process and to manifest into form. May we remember our techniques and tools that help us make things consciously tangible and not far out of reach. Allow yourself to have small goals to that big goal. Allow yourself to see the steps necessary in order to manifest that goal. These kind of things help the conscious mind be able to have something tangible, something understandable for it. So it's not floating around trying to grasp, how am I going to manifest this? How am I going to become a millionaire? How am I going to attract that home and that family? How am I going to attract clients for my business? Staying with the breath. These goals, these steps, they give us the clarity of the process and the steps necessary for that goal. So then we can understand in our human senses that, yeah, this goal is real. This goal is happening. It's not something that's far out there. It's not something that is way beyond my level. I just have to find the roadway and plant the steps and seeds of that roadway and just follow them in accordance through action, intention, and willpower. And our guides give us 3 ingredients, 3 keys to assist us in remembering manifestation. That is repetition and consistency, creating habits and patterns of what it is that you wish to embody and attract into your life, so that you may become more of that embodied frequency. Number 2, our intentions, remembering to stay intentional as you move through this matrix and as you move through time space, as your intention will be your core that will continue to carve into the way that the universe listens and obeys to your command as the I am. And then number 3, remembering love, unconditional love, the eternal source, the ability to have experiences, to go through what we can consider right or wrong to any degree, and know that we can pick right up in that moment and continue forward and continue to create, heal, and reshape that experience. And lastly, remember momentum, the power of momentum, and utilizing momentum consciously when it's being built, as that can help catapult you to continue forward and to feel the bliss, the beauty, and the power of what it is that you're doing along your journey. Iana usu ishina tiki ata utu ata Iamanatu shikitia Ikiamaya utuata Ikianasu. So let's go ahead and take a big deep breath and just gather this all in to center. Then exhale and ripple it out to the world. Thank you guys for tuning into that meditation and joining me for that moment. Namaste. I'll hand it back over to you, Yana.
Can you hear me good now?
Let me see. I'm gonna turn the background music down a little bit. Okay, go ahead and try.
Can you hear me good now?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Better than before, or should I take it off again?
No, that's good.
Awesome. So. Awesome. Yeah. You know, it's so important that we connect and find inner calm within ourselves. And from there on, God can talk and walk, through you, it's in you. And when you learn to be magnetized towards, what God would love to experience, right? Just ask yourself, what would God love to experience through me right now? What would that be? What would that be? What would God like to experience through me right now? Or what does one create through me next? Be very, very curious with yourself and your time, and stop giving energy towards what takes energy. Do what gives you energy, and then you see how you activate your energy centers, your chakras. Through your pineal gland, you can really, it's like your control center, that you can tune into all the lower chakras as well. It's very, or into the lower glands with the pineal gland, the thyroid, the thymus or thymus, I don't know how you guys say it. We have capabilities to really be in tune with that core of our being. And one way to do it is through really consciously doing chakra work and learning where they are placed, feeling into it, breathing into it, channeling energy to it, doing Reiki, exercising, doing yoga, whatever that is, Tai Chi, Qigong, whatever that is that calls you as spiritual practice, you gotta do it. You gotta do a spiritual practice, because that gives you the space to see manifestation happen, for you, through you, with you, so to say. So, thank you, brother. It's a good and important topic, and I believe we all need to be ourselves within ourselves and just take action accordingly to the change that we would love to have occur with the thing that we see in front of us that we can change now, whatever it is. I mean, I even changed my movement, so something has changed already. I clean up my dishes, so something has changed already. I pick up a pen, so something has changed already. Every single movement that I do, I'm causing something to change, you know? So it's very interesting what we do as beings and what we manifest. Yes, so be wise what you touch with those holy hands that you have, you know? God willing, thank you very much. Praise Almighty. Yes, yes, yes. You know, this is the heart. You know, we feel it. It's so clear. It's so pure. Like this is awesome. Ah,
Yes. Yes.
yes, yes, yes.
Oh man.
Amen.
So high five.
Up, up, up.
High five through the matrix. Look at us, peering through the matrix.
You know, when you've done, when we've had this little guidance with you, I felt like light codes like this restructuring my stomach.
Mm,
Yeah.
yes. Light language is one of my favorite transmission practices just because it's so fluid, so efficient. It's really so effortless, and it's a very, feminine, surrendered practice. And like the receiving, even just channeling it is so beautiful. And there's something about pure frequency healing, when it's not a third density healing modality. It's how do we know how to put words to it? Like the euphoric angelic tingles that you feel through your body, and the uplifting heavenly energy is just whew, wow.
Very clear if you experience it, right? And until you experience it, it might be a little out there for you. But you know, it's something that's within all of us, you know. I had a dream of Mother Mary and she mentioned speaking in tongues, light language. Yeah, you know, like I receive Mother Mary's with me. Um, you know, I always have her in my heart, and it's
Mm.
um you know, they communicate on such a level that's you know, telepathic communication. It's a download. It's an information that is not real. Like it's not always a thought that you have. You know, it's they communicating through so many different things with us. You know, and depending on what your soul as well is here to experience and is desiring, you receive information in a certain way. I always felt like it's like hieroglyphs, you know, or light language. I hear light language my entire life. You know, I can hear it clearly. You know, it's something very, very beautiful. You know, you mentioned it. Mhm.
Yeah, thank you for that reflection. Thank you for receiving. Thank you for sharing such a beautiful space.
Mhm. Yes, yes, yes.
How's everybody feeling on the IG side? I know
Mhm.
quite a few of you are still there. How you guys feeling after that activation? Feel free to put how you feel in the comments. Love to see some feedback, and if there's anything kind of extraordinary that may have came up in your perception or in your senses during it, yeah, feel free to share, because I know a lot of different things are possible in those spaces where We may see colors, we may see guides, we may see family members, or we may feel them. So yeah, feel free if you wish at your free will. And Brother Yana, how do you feel about episode 7 being about spiritual hygiene and spiritual maintenance?
You want to go multi-dimensional, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we gotta connect some dots. I feel, I think we gotta need some connections being made for us to, you know, yeah, understand multidimensionality. I will, I've been shown the concept of time, with the 9 numbers like 1 to 9. 9 being understanding of time. So, like, learning to understand time is the 9th dimension, and we have 8 below. I will talk about it in the next episode a little, when we go into it, because I feel that you're pulled towards things always. We all are, and like in this life, my human self right now is discovering all of this as much as you do, and the moment that I talk about it, it's for me as healing as it's for you. So Crystal also shared that, if you've seen something, if you've received something during the transmission, you gotta talk about it, get it off your chest, speak it out. Especially when you have people like here, where we all love you and support you and understand the most weirdest things. you know, we are weirdos, but we all are. We just gotta own our psyche and gotta understand how this is working, because we are all, daydreaming as an example. We all get into those trance-like states all the time, where we have visions and process things and are not really here but still accessing here, or like being aware of what's surrounding us, but we're actually drifting off in different dimensions. So this is all happening all the time, and clearing your vessel, like you're like purifying your energetic field and staying in alignment with who you are, like your purpose and mission in this reality, and conquering the challenges that you accepted in order for yourself to live in this third dimension, and really practice your senses, experience them, harness your physical self, harness your temple, like make healthy decisions, show yourself that you love yourself. It all starts here, actually. It's not out there. It's not like, just because we talk about spiritualism or spirituality, it doesn't mean that it's out there. It's all here. It's all you. It's all me. And we really gotta find back to source, to the source of our being. It's very simple, because it's within all of us, and I can see myself through your eyes as well. The moment that we connect with each other, we are one. We share the same space, and we gotta really look within. On a subatomic level, we are all the same, so like, what's in between you and me, we kind of sense there is something, and we are all made of that, and if we tune into our heart, or even use our pineal gland or crown chakra, and we just tune into those areas with our intention. We are very intentional with what we're focusing on in this material world, right? Within this body, what's happening within this thing here, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this? What am I learning here? Like really analyzing my body is what I do my entire life, so your body is the messenger. Listen to the signal. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't do that. We don't want to kill the messenger. We need it. We very, very need it. So we're all the same, on a quantum perspective. Now we gotta look into that. I think just everyone hook up the Nobel Prize 2022 in physics. They just discovered that what happened in one place simultaneously happens in a different place as well. It just entangled. Like they just proved the entire thing that we're all connected. No matter what you intend, you give power to and you manifest. So be very careful with that. It's physics. Fucking, it's great. I haven't done too much research, but it's physics. I have done enough research to say it's fucking it. So we can't deny it any longer. It's out there, and it's within us to heal ourselves and to be the authority that is able to help kids grow up and be happy and healthy. So if you have the feeling that in your childhood you had no chance to live a healthy and fulfilled life, do it for your children. Do everything to create something like this for your children and for the future generations. Our grandparents, they had a different life. The world looked entirely differently. They had almost no choice, those human beings, like years ago. But now it's different. Now we have boys, now we have like many people. Time is different. We're all connected. We see it, through a conversation like this. We see it through AI. And we feel it in our hearts. We have a clear vision. Our third eye, our pineal gland is activated. And we all can understand each other on that level. We don't need to muck around. We don't need to, turn in circles and do not move forward collectively. We're here to have fun. We're here to enjoy. We're here to really make the best out of our situation. And we gotta learn to love ourselves and our neighbors. We gotta be great examples for our children. It can't be that we're in 2024, still have to give children who are active pills to be quiet. It's insane and it's a shame. It's really a shame what we do as a society to give children like pharmaceutical pills. We gotta wake the fuck up, like seriously, and harness our nature, to really protect our children and women, to stand up for our women, to learn what it means to be a man as well, to be centered, to be stable, to know what you want, and to have integrity, speak your truth no matter what, and get the shit done. Really do get the shit done. You have brothers who help you, you can talk about. I talked at the beginning of this episode. I was today I woke up and I felt like crying. I felt like screaming. It was a very weird feeling, and that's life. That's life. It's what we do with it. What is it telling me? It tells me how much I love. You know, it told me how much I love. It told me how beautiful it is to be a human being and to love another human being. Yeah. And to love myself and to love the process and the progress, you know, of being a human being. You know, and magic just happened. You know, one lady today, she said, I feel a little sleepy but born new again after a treatment, you know, and this is very beautiful to see that we are capable of feeling like that in 20 minutes, you know. So, yeah, we're powerful beings. We gotta step into our hearts and shed love.
Whew. Wow. What a way to flow in this episode. We went from the hearty information and knowledge into just such a beautiful, beautiful, soft, feminine energy the second half. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that we can create a container like this for these energies to be expressed in such a, elegant, swift, and delightfully healing way for not just us, but everybody else that will be hearing and tapping in and feeling the energy of this ripple. That being said, I think this will do for episode 6, Manifesting of the Friday Expedition. And wow, what a beautiful jam-packed episode. We covered many, many different layers of manifesting. We gave you guys a little bit of the outlook of, how our electromagnetic being and the multidimensional layers of our being operates when it comes to manifesting. We talked about the chakras as well a little bit, including the sacral and the heart and the crown. We also gave you guys a little bit of light language, and Yana also did a very brief and subtle chakra connection as well. And then, of course, beautiful, beautiful comments throughout. And thank you to all of you for tapping in and joining us to help create this space. And next week, we will be exploring and talking about spiritual hygiene and spiritual maintenance. And you can also call that self-care as well. So tap in, learn some self-care tools, why and how we cleanse our energy, and how to address things that are in our field so we can keep ourselves in our clean spiritual hygiene, as we call it, so that we can be optimal in our best self in our everyday life. And not just for ourselves, but our children, family members, and other loved ones as well. And then I was actually thinking, and I'll go ahead and run it by our co-host over here. What do you think about episode 8 being an episode of creativity, art, and expression, where we sit with the audience and we share a little bit of our authentic art and do the art while we're live, while we talk and reflect about consciousness of life? How do you feel about that, brother?
Oh, that'd be awesome, man. Like, this will be like a, being in the feminine, being creative, being in the flow, and then having a conversation. I feel that. Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Episode 8. But next week will be spiritual hygiene and self-care. And then episode 8, 2 weeks from now, on Friday the 20th, that will be, we'll do a little bit of a free flow creative art expression space where we'll bring our authentic arts and passions, do it live with you, and let you guys experience it with us, have a little bit of conscious conversation as we flow, of course. And then if you are open to it, perhaps maybe we can have a guest artist come on and they can share a little bit about their art and passion as well.
Good stuff.
Awesome. All right, then, everybody. We're on about 2 hours of such a beautiful space. Thank you guys again for being a part of this. And thank you for all the thank yous in the comments. The Aya 13, Chantel, Precious Pieces, thank you for that question in the beginning. Really appreciate that question you had. And thank you to Fatima and all else that are here and have been here.
I gotta say some more today, because the ladies are so present today. I really want to honor that. I had a Reiki workshop today in the hotel, and only women came. Like it's that it's so needed that we acknowledge that, and it's true that more women are opening up to that energy quicker than men, or easier. And it's very beautiful to see and know that you're loved, and that you have support, and that there are men out there who are there for you and doing everything for you. I'm sure about that. There are very, very great men out there who love you, and that you can share your your feminine energy with. So yeah, Reiki is a beautiful energy too. Like we may even have an episode once talking about it, Reiki specifically, and bringing that knowledge out here to really share maybe some Reiki practice as well. Yeah.
Yes. With that being said, everybody have a blessed and a beautiful Friday. Have a blessed and beautiful weekend. Reach out to us if you guys ever need anything. Follow us and subscribe. Appreciate your support. Let's continue to rise together and become more aware of who we are. Unified, always. Y'all have a beautiful day.
Yes, you too, brother.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Wholeness and balanced love, everybody.